Going live. It's draft day. That is Frank Red. My name is Cyrus Saatsaz, and in just a moment, the number one pick in the NBA draft is going to be announced. We're here live to cover that. Before we officially get started, checking in on Frank Red, host of In the Dungeon. I've even got this little banner for you. How the hell are you doing, brother? Good to see you.
It's always great to hang out with you. I'm doing fantastic, man.
Beautiful.
This is one of the best sports days of the year. The NBA draft off the heels of my New York Knicks winning an NBA title, so I'm still in the glow of the historic happening in New York. So I can't wait to start.
Oh, we'll talk about that in a little bit. I forgot you're a Knicks fan, dude. Are you still hungover? Are you on the mend? How's the celebration been?
I mean, I've calmed down, but I'm still giddy. Anytime somebody else mentions it, it's unbelievable. 53 years? Come on, man. That's crazy.
God damn, that is crazy, dude. That is yeah, there's no chance in hell were you even alive for the last one?
I was alive. I was a little bit. I was a young kid.
Okay, so you have no memory of that, correct?
Not real visual graphic memory, but
that's crazy. Yeah. Well, anytime the NBA makes an announcement, we'll play this sound effect on the show. That's the sound. And we're still waiting on the Wizards to make their selection. We'll welcome the audience tonight as well. We'll post the link soon if anybody wants to join us. We're going to be going from now through at least the Warriors' number 11 pick, and then we'll feel it out from there. Has anything happened in the last hour, Frank, that I missed? I mean, the Giannis thing happened yesterday, all that other stuff. Anything in the last hour? I've not had a chance to look at my phone.
No, this is surprising. This is the 1 year that leading up to the draft, there haven't been any side deals of notoriety. So I think it's all about the draft, and that speaks to how anxious teams are to hold on to those picks because there's so many talented players in this draft, so they don't want to give up any picks.
Well, before we officially start the show, Adam Silver made his first selection, and it is AJ DeBonsa. So we'll talk about that. Congrats to AJ. This means the Utah Jazz are on the clock when we come back. We're powered by Sunrun. Click that QR code right there or click the link in the description below. We're powered by FanDuel, and the program is called the Golden Days. Yeah, let's go. Frank Red. You could follow him on the Twitter scene. That's where he's mostly located. Maybe more importantly, you can subscribe to his YouTube channel, In the Dungeon. In is spelled E-N, the spelled T-H-A, Dungeon spelled like dungeon. A longtime radio personality, a former radio broadcaster in the Sacramento and the San Francisco Bay Area markets. Big Frank Red is your Twitter handle. Again, at Big Frank Red, former D1 player at Fordham, longtime New York Knicks fan who's giddy right now. This draft, I'm guessing, is secondary to you. But really quickly, Frank, AJ DeBonsa on the Wizards, how are you feeling about that? And anything you want to add that you want to promote in terms of what you're doing?
I love the pick for the Wizards because he fits into what they already have. I mean, you still have Anthony Davis. You got Sarr. The number two overall pick in the most recent draft. He has formed out pretty well. They got Trey Johnson at the number 2 spot. So this is a team that, to me, is definitely going to be in the play-in, and they're probably going to be knocking at that 6th seed next year.
I agree.
I love what they're doing in Washington right now.
I wholeheartely agree. Well, except for one thing. Yes, a lot of stuff happened yesterday. We'll talk about Giannis and that trade finally being greenlit. He's now a member of the Miami Heat. Julius Randle being given away to the Brooklyn Nets. I thought that was fascinating. Makes me wonder what the Timberwolves have up their sleeve. But Trae Young gets a 4-year near supermax extension. Certainly, I believe, I don't know if it's a max, but he's getting about $200 million. Do you like that move for the Wizards? I mean, I wouldn't have minded it if it was 1 year, maybe 2. A 4-year commitment is heavy for that guy. What are your thoughts?
I think it speaks to the relationship that Trae has with the people who are running the show now. I don't love the contract, but I don't hate it the way that a lot of people hate it. You know, it isn't the fact that he can't play. it's his commitment to winning. And I think he's at the age now, being humbled by Atlanta, that I think he's a serious adult now in the room. And I think that he wants to help these young guys accomplish something that hasn't been done in the past 5 to 7 years in Washington. So I don't love it, but I don't I don't hate the contract either. I think he's a star point guard, and that's the growing market for it.
Yeah. Again, I don't hate his short term, but it does make me wonder if they're going to have little buyer's remorse 2-3 years from now. His defense is what is always a flag for me. But again, congrats to AJ DeBonsa. And on that note, Barbara, by the way, in our chat, adding that Trae Young's getting $213 million guaranteed. That is generational wealth. Congratulations to Trae Young and everyone else who scores these huge deals, and the coaches, dude. The amount of money that these coaches make is absurd as well. We'll have a lot more to talk about, but real quick, not real quick, but we want to give some love to our sponsors, the folks supporting this program, paying the bills. First up is Sunrun. I actually had a lot of conversations today with friends of mine who I decided to reach out to just to see if they were Sunrun customers, and I got some fascinating feedback. One of my friends was like, dude, I still owe $20,000 on these panels that are on my roof now from like 10 years ago or something like that. Sunrun's going to take care of them. They're going to replace those panels. That's a problem that's going to be in his rear view mirror in the very near future, because Sunrun, they're backed financially and owned by Tesla. You know how much money that company has. So Sunrun is on the straight and narrow, man. They're going to take care of my boy in LA. Another one of my friends in Arizona, I reached out to him. He was like, well, one time someone came out here and said my home is not eligible for solar. Well, now we're going to get actual professionals coming to check his home out in the AZ, and they could come help you as well. No payments for 6 months. And once those 6 months expire, all you're paying for is the monthly lease expense of the solar panels and the battery. And that monthly cost, in 99.9% certainty, is drastically lower than what you're paying now getting ripped off by PG&E. No upfront cost. They don't do hard credit checks. It doesn't ding your credit if you apply. It's you're saving money monthly, zero upfront costs, no fear of having to spend money to get solar here. It all comes after the fact. And again, after the fact, you're paying money that you're already spending on your electricity bill. Sign up for Sunrun today. The link is in our description. The link is right there in our QR code. And make a decision that will help you above everyone else. Today's episode also brought to you by FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Golden Days and the Believe Network. And Frank, the sportsbook, I'm looking at the FanDuel odds right now. And what I was actually looking for, I'm on the wrong page because I wanted to see what the updated odds are for the draft in terms of the Warriors, but they took those odds down because the draft is going on right now. By the way, before we get to those FanDuel lines, we have a second pick. This is the Utah Jazz, and Adam Silver is rolling with, or not Adam Silver, the Utah Jazz. Frank, you want to announce it? Did you check it out?
Yeah, the Utah Jazz with the number 2 pick select Darren Peterson of Kansas.
Woo! Your thoughts on the Darren Peterson pick, a player that a lot of folks brought up red flags about, pertaining largely to the cramping, some of his comments pertaining to being a lone wolf. But the Utah Jazz did not give a shit. They've now gone 2 for 2, drafting players that wanted nothing to do with them. Last year was Ace Bailey, who did not work out for him. This year it was Darren Peterson, who did not work out for him. Your thoughts on Darren Peterson, Frank? Give us the scouting report.
I think he's a dude. I mean, he's 6'5", 6'6", 3-level scorer. By all accounts, he's a good human being. I think there was some stuff beyond the surface concerning the injuries at Kansas and stuff like that, NIL stuff that was involved a little bit, and nobody really wants to talk about that type of stuff. But the bottom line is they're getting a guy who is not going to be a flop. At the very level, he'll be a very good pro, but he could be a perennial all-star. I truly believe that. His shot-making ability is better than anybody in this draft. I don't know if he exhibits the leadership qualities that we like to see and obvious to fans, but from a basketball perspective, I don't think they can miss with this guy. He's a big-time player.
He comes off a lot personality wise, and this is just my impression from brief clips. A lot like Kawhi Leonard, someone who
Right, exactly.
you're not adding him to be a vocal leader in your locker room, but the talent is just so overwhelmingly. The evidence is just overwhelming in terms of how good this guy could be. So, what does Utah look like now with Darren Peterson added to the mix?
Well, you got Jaren Jackson. Ace Bailey actually had a pretty good rookie year, so he's going to be slotted probably one of the forward positions. You have Keontae, the star guard last year out of Baylor that has ascended to the point where they're talking about extension for him. You'll slide Peterson in there. They got a decent starting five. They really do.
Yeah, so, I agree. And what this builds off of, pertaining back to the Golden State Warriors, right, who got in with the 10 seed last year with 37 wins, largely because every other team below them was not trying to make the play-in. They were intentionally tanking. We're now looking at a scenario this season. I think Utah is going to be at least a play-in contender, if not a playoff contender. We're going to find out who the Mavericks draft. We're going to find out who the Grizzlies here draft in just a second. But Frank, I've been saying this on the show for a while, and I don't know if you agree with these sentiments or not. I think the Warriors are in deep doo-doo here for this upcoming season. It's borderline shocking to me that FanDuel, I will give this one line that FanDuel presented today to wrap up talking about them. They actually have the Warriors not getting the most egregious odds imaginable to win the Western Conference. San Antonio is the favorite to win the West. The OKC Thunder are tied with them. They're both plus 140 as in terms of favorites to come out of the Western Conference in next year's NBA Finals. Following them, the odds go in order: Denver, LA Lakers, Minnesota Timberwolves, Houston Rockets, LA Clippers, and then the Warriors are surprisingly, or maybe not surprisingly, 8th. Is that a fair assessment? And do you share my concerns that I don't know if the Warriors will even be competing for a play-in next year? They remind me a lot. Connor Letourneau, I think, nailed this best, of the 2019-20 Warriors, who were abysmal. And maybe Stephen Curry's breaking his hand in hindsight was a blessing, so he didn't have to suffer through that whole season. Well, he's going to have to suffer through this. I'm worried, Frank. How are you feeling?
Well, I want to go back and add Lauri Markkanen to Utah Jazz as well. So they're going to be really, really competitive next year. When you think of the Golden State Warriors, what I think the odds makers sometimes utilize to give them a better rating is in the playoffs, it's not a one-game elimination tournament. You got to win series. Yeah. And we saw this year with the Knicks not migrate their way through the playoffs and ultimately win the championship. I thought the Knicks would win the championship. Why? Because of the balance. Now, the Warriors have a lot of ifs, right? It's a lot of ifs. Depending upon who they draft, if they draft a forward, then that probably means they don't think they can get LeBron. I don't think they can get LeBron anyway. No. But miraculously, if some craziness happened like that, then who knows? But if they could get Yaxel Lendeborg to go with Draymond, they're going to re-sign then Porzingis. That becomes more evident. You got at some point Moody coming back.
Not this year, though, which is the downside. But I know you're being optimistic. I know you're trying, brother. I know you're trying.
I mean, they're not going to be terrible. They're not going to be terrible. And I'm going to tell you why. Because they are a veteran-oriented team. And basketball is based on the half court. Everything slows down in the playoffs. They're not a favorite. They're only the 8th seed. But when you got those types of veteran players, look at San Antonio. They fell apart because it's tough playing in the playoffs. So
correct.
The Warriors are not the favorites, obviously, not even the 1, 2, 3, or 4. But I would never count them out based off the players that they have. I never would.
I'm very concerned about them just making the playoffs. It's going to be fascinating. There's some chatter lately in the trade market. Again, we've covered this in the past, and who the hell knows? Until anything's set in stone, you can't say things like they're fact. But LeBron James to the Warriors, highly unlikely. It seems like he's going to go back to the Lakers. Kawhi Leonard to the Warriors, highly unlikely. I don't know where the hell this keeps coming up. Why would the Clippers do that? At a bare minimum, to me, that's why the Kawhi thing. By the way, we have a third pick. Apologies for the interruption, but the Memphis Grizzlies just made the 3rd selection in the NBA draft. Frank, if you got this, take it away, sir.
3rd pick in the NBA 2026 draft. The Memphis Grizzlies select Cameron Boozer, Duke University.
All right, Cam. NBA prodigy right there. His dad played also for the Jazz and the Bulls, among a handful of teams. Cam Boozer, if there's any player that I feel like his stock went up from the time the college basketball season ended through the combine up to now, Cam Boozer has been getting practically universal praise. And it's a little shocking to me, just a little bit, that he actually fell to third. I had a lot of chatter going around that the Jazz might select him with the number 2 pick. How are you feeling about the Grizzlies now adding Cam Boozer to that up-and-coming team?
Just another plug-and-play guy, professional basketball player. Plug in 16 to 18 a game in his rookie year, 8 to 10 rebounds, no off-the-court drama, great teammate, great professional, great in the community. You know, there's a lot of greats there. So I think they had to pick him. You might look at his talent and say, well, there are more sexy guys out there. But in terms of what you're trying to build, you're trying to have a successful organization, he's your guy because he's not going to be a flop. He's going to be a very good NBA player.
Here's just some of the players that are going to be on the Grizzlies roster next season. You now have Cam Boozer. The Ja Morant situation is completely in flux right now. We have no idea if he's going to come back, be traded, what the interest is. But some of these players are exciting. Cedric Howard, he's got a hell of a future ahead of him. Jalen Wells, promising. Santi Aldama, we've seen him for a few years now, but he's a solid basketball player. Zach Edey, promising. Scottie Pippen Jr., promising. And I feel like I'm missing somebody that's on that team. But even with just those names that I brought up, Memphis has something to be excited for, I think. What are your thoughts?
I like them. I think they got a lot of pieces that need to smooth out their edges. But I think what they're trying to get back to is good human beings. You know, one of the reasons why the Knicks won a championship this year is because they had great chemistry. They were good guys. And I know I keep talking about the Knicks because they were so –
Go ahead, talk about them.
I mean, they were so cerebral this year.
And you can smile while you're doing it. I know how it feels to live most of your life without your team winning a title. I was there in 2015 for the Warriors. Be giddy, brother. Be happy.
Thank you. The Memphis Grizzlies have been in flux. Part of the chatter around the rumors about the Grizzlies possibly moving to Nashville, real or not real, was because of the stuff that was happening off the basketball court.
Right.
Memphis has a focus, and they want to, again, really engage that community. And I can't think of a better player to do that with than some of the names that you've mentioned, and also Cameron Boozer. He's going to be great. I
agree, and Gigi Jackson, Raider Tupac in our chat, bringing him up also on the Grizzlies as well. If they don't make any serious moves this offseason regarding Ja Morant, and the names I mentioned are basically the team that they're going to have, I could see that as not being necessarily a huge threat to the Warriors. Maybe they're in the same grouping as, let's say, the Sacramento Kings, maybe the New Orleans Pelicans. I don't know who else really is down at the bottom there. We're going to find out what the Mavericks do. They're going to be one of the intriguing teams as well. But Frank, what I was getting at before the pick was selected is I wanted to bring up trades for the Warriors, right? I was talking about LeBron basically not being an option because he's probably going to go back to the Lakers. I don't see the Clippers making a deal with the Warriors. They've already strung along the Warriors twice, for Paul George a year ago, more recently Kawhi Leonard last February. Why would they do it? Why would they help the Warriors, man? These are two competing organizations. With all that said, the ideal trade in my mind, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this, whether you agree or not, is Trey Murphy III. If he is in fact available, give the Pelicans that number 11 pick that's coming up. Give them Brandon Pajemski. Obviously, the Jimmy Butler contract would have to go as well to make it work for salary cap purposes. Give them a future first if you have to. I think Trey Murphy is worth it. What I'm trying to say here is make that move. That is the trade to me that if you're the Warriors, you do. Your thoughts on Trey Murphy III? Who knows if that's going to happen, but the Warriors have been linked in trade innuendo.
I don't hate the trade. I actually could support it. But I don't want to throw in Jimmy Butler's contract with that. I really don't. I mean, they need to find a way to make that happen without giving up Jimmy Butler. I think you want to hold on to him. He's a good player. But think about this. Last year, he has never helped New Orleans get over the top.
True.
You know, so I look at him kind of he's kind of a 3-and-D guy. He doesn't navigate the ball from the perimeter and finish at the rim. He's kind of a straight line driver when nobody's in front of him, but he can't navigate through the defense and finish. He's kind of a streak 3-point shooter. He's a good player, but he doesn't have a lot of nuance to his game. The Warriors are notorious, and they're known for having players who have nuance and really high basketball IQs. I don't get that with Trey Murphy III. What I get is a good basketball player that can get you to a higher level, but I would be careful. I'll be very careful with him.
I have not evaluated his game enough to discuss IQ, but beyond that, and when we talk about IQ, we're mostly talking about being a smart decision maker on the court,
Right.
not making mental errors,
Right.
being a fit for a system, and being able to adapt. We'll continue on, but another pick has been made, this one by the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls, and with the 4th pick in the NBA draft, Frank Red, who have the Bulls selected?
Chicago Bulls, with the 4th pick in the 2026 NBA draft, select 6'10" freshman Caleb Wilson, Carolina.
Frank, in terms of YouTube scouting, what I mean by that is this has become a part of the NBA draft. People put together these YouTube clips. You watch these players in the highlight packages. Caleb Wilson might have been the winner in terms of YouTube impressions, right? Like, just he looks fantastic. It's a little surprising he fell to 4. This is how deep this draft is. I feel like most other years, Caleb Wilson is a consensus number 1. He falls to 4. The Chicago Bulls get a real player. What are your thoughts on Caleb Wilson?
Magic. I mean, Chicago's one of the best NBA fan bases in the entire league, and they just got a prize. They not only got a great talent, but they got a great kid. Fans are jumping for joy in Chicago right now. 6'10", plays a lot like Kevin Garnett. Definitely a great teammate. Is always being differential to what's best for the team and not about himself. He's a star. And when you look at what they have now, they got Giddey. With the 15th pick, they're probably going to get a kid like a Phylon from Alabama, who's another potential starter. And they have the jumping jack from last year also. I can't think of his name right now. But
on the Bulls?
Yeah, great rookie.
Who's the jumping jack? Let me look that up real fast. I'm looking at the roster. The Bulls, by the way, you immediately see with their front office changes just how improved they are as an organization. Right. Suddenly some common sense being dictated there. So the Bulls next year, they're going to have Josh Giddey, Trey Jones, Isaac Okoro, Buzelis, who a lot of people – is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Mattis Buzelis. And yesterday, as part of that trade that sent Julius Randle to the Brooklyn Nets, where the Minnesota Timberwolves actually had to trade down in the draft just to get rid of that Randle contract. Absurd. They gave him away for nothing. I see these trades, and it really drives me crazy with the Warriors, because I know Julius Randle is far from perfect, but this Warriors roster has so many holes in it. You could use some of these guys. But I didn't bring up Julius Randle because of him. I brought that trade up because Nick Claxton is now a member of the Chicago Bulls. And the way I see the starting 5, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, Nick Claxton as your 5, Caleb Wilson as your 4. I think Buzelis can play the 3, and then Giddey, and I don't know who the shooting guard is going to be. They also have Rob Dillingham coming off the bench. He's young. Patrick Williams, to me, is just an absolute bust. I still can't believe he got that second contract. They may re-sign Anthony Simons. I think the Bulls could be good next year, though. What are your thoughts on the Bulls?
I think what they will be is they'll be entertaining and they'll be competitive. And I think from a fan base perspective, that's really what you want. I think the NBA's fanship of all the teams kind of follow the teams to the point where they can kind of figure out where their clubs are. It's not as important that you win games. What's important is that you are entertaining and you're getting better. Putting those collective of players on the court, I think Chicago is going to be more competitive. And I would be excited if I'm a Bulls fan to watch this young collective of talent. Man, it's going to be fun to watch.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And going back real fast to finish up the Trey Murphy conversation, no pushback for me on anything you said pertaining to your analysis of him. But what I'll add is with all those limitations and with all the negatives you pointed out, in addition to the positives, he does sure feel like the exact player the Warriors need. Given you look at the roster and like you brought up Moses Moody, who's not going to play this year. We're going to have a discussion about Jimmy Butler in a second, largely because I don't know how this team improves if you keep him, considering he's going to miss at least half the season. But you take those two guys out because they're not going to be available for at least half the year. Moses Moody likely for the whole year. This team has a gaping hole at the wing position, whether it's a stretch 4, the 3, two guards with some size. This team has issues. The only wings I could think of off the top of my head, I don't have the roster in front of me. Will Richard, year 2, we still have no idea what he fully encompasses. Guy Santos, if he's played properly, can play the 3 and be a wing, and I think that's it. So that's why, like Trey Murphy, and fill me in on anyone I miss, but Trey Murphy to me, I think they need someone who is not necessarily like fluid or adaptable to systems and being someone who does everything. I wouldn't mind someone that just sits in a corner and heaves threes and plays incredible defense. But that's just me. I still would love the Trey Murphy pick. I also totally hear what you're saying about Murphy. Any final thoughts on that?
Well, just when I look at Trey Murphy and I look at Yaxel Lendeborg, I'll take Lendeborg right now.
Okay.
I think Lendeborg's top-end talent is more diverse than Trey's. I also will take Kareem Lopez. The only reason why I would take Lendeborg over Lopez is only 20 years old. So he's going to take some time to develop. But in 3 years, you might have a legitimate rising type of player who's very, very diverse. I watched about 45 minutes to an hour on him, and I like his mental makeup. His dad was a pro, really coached him up. He's 6'9". He played in Australia where they play a physical brand of basketball. He does everything well. He's just 20 years old. So
yeah.
When I think of the Warriors, I think you got to look towards the future also.
I feel that same way about Ade Mara and Kristaps Porzingis. I'd rather have Mara than Porzingis, but that's just me. With that said, a lot of people said the NBA draft would start with the number 5 pick. Well, the Clippers just made that pick. May or may not be surprising. Frank, who did the Clippers select, sir?
5th pick out of University of Illinois in the NBA 2026 draft. The LA Clippers select Keaton Wagler with the 5th pick.
That, Frank, I've been wanting to talk to you about this guy. Some people in the chat brought up the other day that Keaton Wagler did not dunk a ball once in competitive play last year. With that said, who knows if that means he has physical limitations. People have been praising this guy. He also brings size for a point guard, 6'6". Keaton Wagler, what's your analysis of this, and how does he fit on the Clippers this coming year?
I think he's going to fit really, really well. I wasn't as high on him, and then I watched about an hour of his highlight reel. And I got to put some respect on his name, man. He's a very, very skilled player. He can play both guard positions. I think the Clippers, looked internally and said to themselves, listen, are we willing to eat $100 million, which is what they probably owe Darius Garland left in his contract? No. So they got to pay this guy. So they needed somebody to be able to play alongside Garland at times. And Wagner can do that. Wagner can play the point. He can play the 2. And he's coachable. So I think he's a good fit for the Clippers. I do. I think he's be good.
He's been highly praised. A lot of Warriors fans were in hindsight, wishfully thinking at a borderline delusional level. And you could probably count me in that a little bit. I love Keaton Wagler. I thought he would have been absolutely perfect on the Warriors, a borderline perfect successor to Stephen Curry. But alas, the Clippers felt the same way. And we look at this Clippers team now. First of all, do you think Darius Garland and Keaton Wagler can share the backcourt? Is that going to be an issue?
No. They're both very cerebral players that don't rely on athleticism. They kind of rely on basketball ability. So they're interchangeable. When I look at those guys, they're not exactly the same. But I think of those guys playing off each other like Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars did. So I think they got a good player who fits within that organization, who's going to be coachable, and eventually I think he'll be the guy at the point for them down the road.
Chat comment here from Young West saying that the alluding to Hannes Steinbach having the biggest hands in this draft. Young West saying that is not true. It's in fact Kareem Lopez. So we'll take that for what it's worth. But goddamn, dude, the LA Clippers. First of all, what a stroke of luck for that trade, the Zubac trade, to result in the number 5 pick in a draft this deep. If the pick had not fallen 5 to 9, this pick would have been forwarded to, I believe, 2031, maybe 2029. Right. It was somewhere around there. But the Clippers, man, they luck out. And this doesn't bode well for the Warriors. Like all of a sudden now, if you're the Golden State Warriors, who defensively I think have some huge issues coming up here, my biggest concern with a Steph Pajemski backcourt is just that. I don't know how they can stop anybody. And now the Clippers have a backcourt of Darius Garland and Keaton Wagler, 2 guys who could score, who could handle. Defensively, I have question marks. Maybe you have information there, but I don't know how the Warriors can stop that and deal with Kawhi and Derrick Jones. Some other players on the Clippers worth mentioning: Chris Dunn. He's kind of so. I don't know if they're going to bring back Benedict Mathurin, Kobe Sanders, who finished the season last year strong. I think the Clippers may be Nicholas Batum, who's a veteran, but he always burns the Warriors. What are your thoughts on the Clippers as an opponent, as a rival to the Warriors this year?
I mean, the Clippers are always going to be competitive because they're well coached.
Yeah.
They got veteran pros. Also, they have the big center. I can't pronounce his name, out of Penn State, who was hurt last year.
Oh, Niederhauser?
Yo, this dude is good.
Yeah, he is. You're right.
He's good.
And I think the Warriors lucked out a little bit, not with the Clippers not having him for that play-in game.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That made a huge impact. Frank, here's my best case scenario for the Warriors, and I don't care if I get aggregated for this. I also don't think it's going to matter. To me, the best case scenario for the Warriors this draft is Braden Burris falling to 11, because he seems like the most surefire pick if it goes that far. Unfortunately, he's also a guard. So I personally, if Braden Burris falls to me, I'm trading Pajemski. That would be my 1-2 maneuver. But in your opinion, what is the best case scenario for the Warriors as the number 11 pick quickly approaches here?
Yaxel Lendeborg.
That's right. You said that earlier. I apologize.
But I think he's the best case scenario because he's going to play right now. I love your take on Braden Burris. And like you said, the only problem I have with him is he's 6'4". He's going to be a really good player. He's a major upgrade from Brandon Podzinski, but the Warriors have problems on the wing, which is why you said they could look at a guy like Trey Murphy. They have problems running Guy Santos out there every game, expecting him to create magic. It's not going to happen. They need a better player at that position.
Well, the number 6 pick is owned by the Brooklyn Nets, and they just made that selection. Sacramento Kings fans, my boy Mark Haynes, hopefully we'll do a show tomorrow, right now must be screaming at the top of his lungs in elation because the player the Kings want is now available with the number 6 pick in the NBA draft selected by the Brooklyn Nets. Frank Red, who did they go with?
Number 6 picks. The Brooklyn Nets select Michael Brown Jr., freshman, University of Louisville.
I don't know anything about Michael Brown Jr. I'm going to learn a lot, obviously, like everyone else watching him play in the NBA next year. What is your initial scouting report on Michael Brown Jr., and did the Brooklyn Nets make the right pick?
I think they did. I mean, he's a 3-level scorer, potential all-star-esque type of player, 6'3" to 6'5". Has a whole lot of character, swag. He's going to light that place up. He really is. Fans are going to love Michael Brown Jr. Says all the right things, trained by his dad, really good friends with Donovan Mitchell. So he's a home run pick as far as I'm concerned.
Well, congrats to the Nets then. Again, they just added Julius Randle. They're going to bring back Michael Porter Jr. I'm literally texting my boy Mark Haynes right now with a simple congrats in all caps because There's no doubt in my mind who the next pick is going to be. This is a formality at this point. It's a little surprising. Maybe they have to wait just to let TV do the highlight reel for Mikael Brown Jr., the package following each of these picks. That's what they're showing on TV right now, just highlights of Mikael Brown. But to me, this is a formality. A Darius Acuff Jr. is going to go to the Sacramento Kings. That is a huge win for them. I never thought I'd actually be happy for Sacramento, but when you have an owner like that and a string of moves the last few years like they've done, I actually have a little sympathy for them. So it's not official yet. We'll formally announce it, but let's just jump ahead. Darius Acuff Jr. to the Kings. What is your thought on this kid that some people thought would crack the top 4? People love this guy. What are your thoughts?
I think he is the best player in the draft for this team. I couldn't be happier for Sacramento. I'm a bigger fan of the Sacramento fans than I am the team, but I am ecstatic for that fan base. They deserve this. I mean, they packed that joint. They got a beautiful arena, Golden One. And finally, I think they have a generational player who's not only going to get it done on the court, but he's going to galvanize that community in ways I think that as good a player as De'Aaron Fox was, I don't think he was as dynamic a personality as Acuff Jr. is going to be. You also mix in the fact that Scott Perry, who's a cool customer, Scott Perry coached Darius Acuff Jr.'s dad in college. So
no shit.
Yeah, so he's familiar with the family. The communication is going to be really, really good. So this is not a home run. This is a grand slam for Sacramento. Agreed. I'm very happy for them.
And let me ask you this. I don't know if you agree with this sentiment or not, but Braden Burris, the fact that this earliest he's going to be picked as number 8, him falling this far, this might be good fortune for the Warriors if that is, in fact, their dream target. He also might get picked between 8 and 10. Who the hell knows? But the fact that he has not been selected yet, and all indications are Acuff Jr. is going to go to the Kings, is this a good sign for the Warriors if, in fact, Braden Burris is the prized target?
Absolutely. And again, I mean, Steve Kerr's not disappointed. I guarantee you that. He gets a legitimate Arizona player at number 11. If that happens, he's going to be very, very happy. Because again, the Warriors are a unique organization because they're all about system. Braden Burris would fit perfectly into the system. And the reality is, we don't know if he can play the point guard. If this guy can play the point guard position, then he's possibly a freaking all-star. He's going to be a slide-in 2 at that position. He's going to be great. But if he can play the point guard position, then he's a future starter, man, and a high-level starter for the Warriors.
That's well, I guess a little bit of excitement maybe brewing at that possibility. But I want to go back to Yaxel Lendeborg for a second because the concerns about him, and it seems to be just one, and that's his age. The fact that he's going to be 24 years old. I don't know if he's already turned that yet or not, but he's going to be 24 before the season starts. Some people say that because of that, of how old he is, that maybe what you see is what you get. Let's hear your thoughts on that in just a second. But the Sacramento Kings are quickly going to make this a formality. They're right now announcing the Adam Silver's at the podium announcing the number 7 pick. And with the number 7-11 pick, no surprises. Frank Red, take it away, sir.
With the 7th pick, the Sacramento Kings select 6'2" freshman out of University of Arkansas, Darius Acuff Jr.
Congratulations. I don't know why I played that. That part. Congratulations to the Sacramento Kings. They get their guy, Darius Acuff Jr. What does this mean for the Kings next year? Do they stand a chance of being relevant with just this one player, or do you think there's still going to be a lottery bound next year just with a lot more promise?
I think they go from being a joke franchise to a team that is on the road to respectability in spite of some of the horrible things that their owner has done. They've been able to craft together a collective of players that actually showed some promise last year. Yeah. Reno was one of the better big men rookies in the league last year, being drafted in the 2nd round. They also got Caldwell out of Auburn, who was a tremendous acquisition. I think they're going to keep De'Aaron now. I actually think they're going to keep him. They have also Keaton. They have Sabonis. They have some guys, man. I mean, they need to play basketball the right way. The next thing about the Sacramento Kings is really Doug Christie. Can you formulate these talented group of players into something that is tangible? They need an excellent coach. If he's that guy, then okay. But they need a guy now who's going to synthesize all of these up-and-coming young players and start moving forward, because Darius A. Cup Jr., listen, he is number one. If you look at an organization and said, well, who do we need of all the players in the draft? They would take that guy number one.
Yep.
So they got their guy. A lot of people thought they were going to have to give up a first-round pick to select him. They played it cool, and they got the guy that they wanted. I'm very happy for them.
It's and Genji Gawk in their chat saying that the Kings might finish ahead of the Warriors next year. Who the hell knows? They did have a better record than the Warriors post All-Star break. A lot of this is going to come down to Stephen Curry's availability, and even then, who the hell knows? But going back to and again, congratulations to the Sacramento Kings. It wasn't just the Kings who targeted him number one. Darius A. Cup Jr. himself wanted to play for the Kings. So I personally always love it when the sides that want to be together end up together, if that makes sense. It's like there's no obstruction. It's poetic in a sense. Yaxel Lendeborg, though, I was asking you about, whether age is a concern, given he's going to be 24 years old. They called me crazy in the chat, writing the major concern for Yaxel is the combination of his age and maturity. So maturity, and I've heard that before. This was months ago. I remember reading a few people bring up that he may not have the maturity to be a Golden State Warrior. I don't know him nearly enough to answer that question. What's your take on Yaxel Lendeborg's maturity at 24 years of age?
Well, he's kind of had a tattered past in some respects. He's been in a lot of different schools. I'm not going to delve into anything else I don't know specifically. The age thing doesn't bother me, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm friends with Mario Elie. And if you know the Mario Elie story, the former Warrior.
Oh, he's a legend. Yeah.
Mario Elie is a legend, had to play in the minor leagues for literally like 3 to 5 years, finally made it to the NBA when he was 25 years old on a one-year contract. He played 11 years and won 3 championships. There's no such thing as a 10-year flop. So if Yaxel Lendeborg is a home run and he plays 10 above average years in the NBA, what are you worried about? And the age thing, like the reason why Yaxel does not sound like an awful draft pick to me, it's multiple reasons. One, the age thing could actually be a positive for the Warriors in the sense that he's ready to play now. Right. And not to mention, like, anyone who has that label potential hanging over his head, like, if you have trust issues with Steve Kerr developing players, I feel you on that. With Yaxel, that's not as much of a concern. He's a plug and play guy. He also gives you size. He's a guy that will be playing heavy minutes because there's no one else on this team who could threaten that. He gives you what you need. Is Yaxel Lendeborg also a good 3-point shooter, Frank? Yeah, he is.
There you go. Yeah, I wouldn't hate it. But again, Braden Burris, we'll see. Like, again, if he falls to the Warriors, I think it's a safe bet that's going to be who they roll with. But we shall see on that. You and Mario Elie are boys?
We're friends. We played against each other quite a bit. We're both from New York. He played with Mully in high school. But, yeah, I know Mario pretty well. We played against each other. We went to some of the same parties. We're both New York kids. So, and Mario's a great guy. Anybody who knows Mario Elie would tell
yes,
he is a great human being. So
I've heard that. And that's and I remember his playing days with the Warriors. He was a journeyman. I remember him being on those championship teams. I'm a little surprised he never became a head coach. I always thought that would be his future, but I'm wrong on that clearly because we haven't really seen him coaching that much. Young West in the chat bringing up that Mario Elie, he once saw him peeing. Seeing. I'm sorry. I actually have a Mario Elie story seeing him on Broadway Street in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
I was projecting because I'm sure there were plenty of nights where I was peeing on Broadway Street. trying to make my way in a drunken stupor back up to my place on Broadway and Taylor in the city many years ago. But Mario Ellie, yeah, you saw him on Broadway Street in San Francisco once. Good dude. Everything I've heard about him is a good dude. They call me crazy in the chat, bringing up that Yaxel Lendeborg had an incident where his coach had to apologize for him for something he said about another team. Apparently, Yaxel said it was way out of character for himself and his apology. That doesn't sound like that big of a deal. Whatever, man. I wouldn't hate it. I know some people are opposed to the Yaxel pick. I personally would not hate it. I'm with you on that. Unheralded Selkuth in the chat saying, I want the Warriors to get Ade Mara so that we don't have to deal with Porzingis and the injury issues. And Frank, maybe this is a good time to bring this up now. I agree wholeheartedly with Unheralded Selkuth. Kristaps Porzingis, to me, of all the players you can sign and add to this team, given the concerns with back-to-backs and the fact that it's very unlikely players like Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, if Jimmy Butler stays, I don't see him playing back-to-backs. Kristaps Porzingis is not a durable player, and I think you need durability. Are you willing to overlook that to re-sign Porzingis?
Ideally, I don't want to sign him, to be quite honest.
I'm with you. Okay, so we're on the same page. Okay.
And the reason I don't want to sign him is because, he thinks more highly of himself than everybody else does. He wants to make a lot of money. Like you said, he's injury prone. He has little to no agility. I'm not a doctor, but he doesn't look right to me. I can see the Warriors signing him because they need to have a big guy back there. But if they could walk away from him and sign draft Mara, and sign a decent player to play forward position, I would do that. Because I'm not a big fan of signing him. I'm not.
Chef's kiss to you, sir. I'm 1,000% with you. And we're also ready to announce the next pick. We're getting close to the Warriors with the number 8 pick in the draft. Frank, take it away.
The number 8 pick. Yeah, that apart. Freshman, point guard, Kingston Fleming.
Tell us about Kingston Flemings. I don't know shit about him either.
Kingston Flemings is a very good basketball player, if not dynamic in terms of personality. He's a great kid, was raised the right way, says all the right things, does all the right things, and he's a dynamic basketball player. If you look at Tony Parker of the San Antonio Spurs, he plays a lot like Tony Parker, to be quite honest, but I think he's probably a little more perimeter-oriented in terms of doing stuff in the air. So if Sacramento had not gotten Darius Acuff Jr., after doing my research on Kingston Flemings, I would have been comfortable with him in Sacramento. So Atlanta, you know what? Atlanta's on a roll. They drafted a really good player who again, can do a multitude of things. He can play defense. He can run an offense. He's a Greyhound type of player. He's going to be a great backup for them next year.
The Atlanta Hawks also made a trade recently where they acquired Aaron Wiggins from the OKC Thunder for a pair of second-round picks.
Right.
That is such a one-sided trade, and it's clearly the Thunder just had a glut of talent, and they just didn't need him anymore. But couldn't the Warriors have used Aaron Wiggins? Like, why are the Warriors making moves like this? 2 second-rounders? The Hawks got to steal. Would you agree?
Definitely. But I think it probably had more to do with Atlanta's cap situation versus the Warriors.
Interesting. Okay.
So I think it was a money deal, maybe a relationship-oriented deal as well. But the Warriors would have loved to have Wiggins as a complementary rotation player. No question about it.
Wholeheartedly agree, man. And they said they're just standing pat doing nothing. Now, possible good news, Braden Burris is now available just 2 picks away. Looking back to the Hawks for a second, given they just made this pick and they added Kingston Flemings, I'm looking at their roster and, they're in the hunt for maybe trading for Jaylen Brown. I'm seeing both Kuminga and Zachary Wiesel-Shaw in trade speculation. What do you think is going to happen? And if you were the GM of the Hawks, what would you do?
I would look at, Risa Shaw really doesn't have any trade value. Kuminga does. Okay. Kuminga does, but Risa Shea doesn't. They have some challenges up front. If they could get a decent center who they could kind of plug and play, then I can understand it because they got a lot of depth at the wing position. But I think this is more negotiations with Jonathan Kuminga. He has an idea of what he wants to make. They have an idea of what they want to pay him long term. And I think this is just soft negotiating. I think they like Kuminga, but they're hesitant to sign a contract for, say, $100 million. So this is just gamesmanship as far as I'm concerned.
And by the way, if Jonathan Kuminga does become an unrestricted free agent and he goes to the Kings, Sacramento is suddenly a very exciting team. And damn, will the Warriors be facing some vengeance every time that shows up in their building or vice versa.
Because that's where he would go. You know that, not know that.
Yeah.
That's exactly where he would go.
That's exactly where he'd go. And he'd be circling those 4 dates a year, at least 4. Well, next up are the Dallas Mavericks. And with the number 9 pick, if I have this correct here, they're on the clock right now. I find them intriguing because they hired the head coach from Michigan, Dusty May. I believe that's his name. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Exactly. And something tells me we're about to find out which of the 3 Michigan bigs that are all projected to go in the first round, if not the lottery of this year's draft. We're going to find out which one of those 3 the coach liked the best. Would you agree with that? Or do you think Dusty May's going to and the Mavericks are going to go outside the box and not pick any of his boys? What do you think is going to happen here?
Well, I think Masai Ujiri is kind of a control freak. I mean, he's brilliant at what he does. And I think he's the guy who wants to make the pick. But I think Dusty May definitely wants one of his guys. I think he definitely wants one of his guys. And I think he wants Lendeborg. So I'm a little nervous right now because I wouldn't be surprised if he gets picked.
Well, the pick is coming right now. We'll play the sounder. Adam Silver is at the podium, and the Dallas Mavericks.
Okay.
Little shocking here, Frank. Go for it.
With the number 9 pick, the Dallas Mavericks select Montrez Johnson, University of Michigan.
Yeah, Merez Johnson Jr. This was my boy Armando Laura, the professor who joins me every Friday for happy hour. This is the player he would have gone with. He was the only guy that in the media scene that I have heard bring Merez Johnson's name into the mix as a Warriors pick potentially. Instead, he goes number 9, which tells me that the coach, that's his fave. What are your thoughts on that? A little surprising.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little surprising, but he is the most defined player among the 3 at the 4 position. They got a true number 3 in Cooper Flag. So Yaxel is kind of a 3.5. He's not quite a power forward. He's not quite a 3. Johnson is a power forward, and he's a power forward in the Maurice Lucas type of vein. He's going to play great post defense. He's a capable scorer, but he's not an ambitious offensive player. He's going to play defense and rebound, set picks, and do all of the dirty work that you need on a good team. Very OG Anunoby type of player. That's who he is. So, yeah.
Damn. And so now he's going to be paired with Cooper Flag in that front court.
Yeah.
It's going to be impressive. If they keep Daniel Gafford, that's going to be their big. They also still have P.J. Brown. Who knows what happens to Kyrie Irving? Who knows what happens to Klay Thompson?
They have the Duke center as well. 7'1" kid.
Oh, Derek Lively.
Yeah, they got Lively.
What? Oh my God. So I'm going to say this right now, and it might sound egregious. Forgive me. The Warriors should be concerned about the Mavericks as well. Like, I don't see those matchups going well for the Warriors, given how big the Mavericks are. And God damn, they're young and athletic.
Here's the problem with Dallas, though, from the Warriors' perspective. They don't have a backup point guard. They don't have, and that's a problem. Fair. They don't have a backup point guard. Most of the games are close. Now, hopefully, Milwaukee's going to draft A-Net at number 10. If Milwaukee drafts A-Net at number 10, which is kind of a likely pick, I don't know if they are, then the Warriors pretty much have their choice between Yaxel Lendeborg or Barrios.
Well, there's a lot of options left. I see 4 names possibly being selected by the Warriors, maybe even 5, as the Bucks are now on the clock with the number 10 pick, and who knows what they go with. And Frank, I'm so sorry for not repeatedly highlighting this graphic. My apologies. I'll do that more often here. So Ade Mara is still on the board.
Yes.
Yaxel Lendeborg is still on the board. Braden Burris is still on the board. Hannes Steinbach is still on the board. Anyone I'm forgetting in terms of who the Warriors may? Kareem Lopez is still on the board. Yeah. This is intriguing.
Philon is still on the board.
LeBaron Philon, correct. He's also on the board. You want Yaxel Lendeborg. Do your wants and the Warriors' wants match up in your view?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. He's a plug-and-play guy. He's smart. He's 24. He's not going to be deterred by Kerr maybe talking negatively to him like some young players do. He's going to say, yes, coach, what else do you want me to do? I'm ready to go. I think Draymond's going to love him because he's tough. Draymond needs a running partner. He had one in Jimmy Butler. Guy Santos is just kind of a guy who's I'm very happy that he's playing, but Lendeborg would be phenomenal for the Warriors to me.
What about if I forgot to mention Nate Immense, who also could. What if Nate Immense falls to the Warriors? You still go with Yaxel?
I mean, well, that means that Milwaukee didn't take Yaxel. I'm not taking him in. As much as I am attracted to him because of his unbelievable talent, if I had an extra first-round pick, then I would take him. The Warriors can't miss on this pick. Can't miss.
This is turning out well for him because a lot of these players who are on their radar is currently available. I mean, there's like 5, maybe 6 players, all of whom I think
Lopez is available.
Who else?
Lopez is available.
Right, I mentioned him earlier. Yeah. Kareem Lopez. Yeah, exactly. There's like Kareem Lopez, Nate Immense, Yaxel Lendeborg, Ade Mara. I think Braden Burris, though, like you even if Braden Burris is available at 11, you still take Yaxel?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to split with you there. I think if Braden Burris is picked number 10 here, and I think Adam Silver is coming to the podium, so we're about to find out who's going to be available for the Warriors at 11. Is he coming up to the podium? Maybe not yet. I guess we don't have that. But yeah, a lot of great names. Here's who I would not want, considering who's left. Don't give me Hannes Steinbach. No. Don't give me Kareem Lopez. Don't give me Ade Mara. As tempting as 7-3 is, to me, it's either Burris 1. These are my power rankings for who's left. Braden Burris 1, Yaxel Lendeborg 2, Nate Immense 3. And Immense, I'd be really hesitant, largely because he is a project, and we saw how that went with Kuminga. I could see that repeating itself all over again. So that's my power ranking, man. What's your power ranking for who's left?
I have no problem with what you said. I'm comfortable with that, although I probably would just cut Porzingis loose, and I would take Ade Mara. I think I would take him.
Oh, my God. This is exciting. Frank, it's been a long time since we've been in this position. 5 years. The last time the Warriors had a lottery pick, they went with Kuminga, and then they selected Moses Moody with the second pick. The Moody one was a bit more controversial, and in hindsight, it was a pretty much a lose situation because even if the Warriors didn't pick Moses Moody, and I'm not bashing Moody, I like Moody a lot. This isn't a denigration, but there were better options out there, right? Like a Trey Murphy, the Turkish big with the Rockets now. I'm drawing a blank on his name. Well, here are the Bucks. Well, the Bucks are selecting right now. But what I was trying to say is that Chris Duarte is who Joe Lacob wanted. But son of a bitch. Well, this makes the pick easy with the number 10 pick, the Milwaukee Bucks. Select, take it away, Frank.
Number 10 pick, the Milwaukee Bucks select freshman, 6'4", guard, Braden Burris, University of Arizona.
Yeah, and I'm only playing that because he came that close to being on the Warriors. You know he was number 1 on their wish list. And the Milwaukee Bucks, those sons of bitches, took Braden Burris with the number 10 pick. That son of a bitch. All right. Well, look, the good news is this almost guarantees the Warriors, who are now officially on the clock, they're going to take a big. Because that's all that's left here, right? Like every good guard got taken. I can't believe that was such a tease, though, man. God damn it, Bucks. They take Braden Burris with the 10. So Yaxel Lendeborg seems like the obvious selection here, right? I mean, he even his press conference when he was sitting on the podium, his words were just, they sounded right. He sounded like a Warrior. So you predict Yaxel's going to be the guy. And what are your thoughts about Braden Burris on the Bucks?
I like it. He's another young player. They got another former Warrior, Ryan Rollins. They got Tyler Hero. So they got some exciting young players. So, Milwaukee's not going to be very good, but they'll be exciting. This is kind of creepy, this NBA draft stuff. You talk about all of the innuendo, all of the rumors. It seems like the teams that wanted specific players have gotten all of those players.
Yeah.
Right. It sounds like we have like a warm envelope thing going on here without the warm envelope. So this is crazy how this draft is kind of falling into place. I love it because it builds on the rumors and the drama about the NBA. But this is awesome, man. This is great stuff. I love
Quick wild card as we wait on the Warriors pick. Urquina's family in the chat bringing up Cameron Carr. What are your thoughts on this kid? Like, if the Warriors surprised everyone and took Cam Carr, would you be upset? And what about a trade down, which suddenly sounds a little better if it's possible?
Don't get cute. Draft Yaxel Lendeborg. I know we got some time to kill, but don't get cute. Dunleavy Jr. is not Bob Myers. He's trying to.
I know, he's not. He's not.
It's like somebody going skydiving who's never taken skydiving lessons before. Don't do it. Stick to the basics, do your job, get the guy, and be happy. So, Carr's a good player. I think Chicago at 15 is in play for him.
The Thunder do own the 12th and 17th picks. If Sam Presti called Dunleavy and said, we'll swap you 12 and 17 for 11, I think you'd have to do that, right? To get us, but I don't know. You tell me. Would you do that?
I probably would, but that would shake my philosophy that we're not focused on the here and now. We're focused on the 3 to 5 years from now. Because at 17, you can get a good player. They can get a Lopez at 12. Maybe you can get Mara at 17. So right. I would definitely do it, but that would change my timeline a little bit. With Yaxel Lendeborg, the timeline is really short. It's really about now.
It is now. Exactly right. God damn. And the anticipation is officially killing me here. Quick moment, pause. First of all, Sunrun, our official sponsor. If you're a homeowner that does not have solar yet, do not wait any further. The industry has course corrected. You don't have to worry about, in hindsight, any liens on your home, any debt. This is a smooth, easy transition with no money up front, 6 months free. And then when you finally do start paying, it's still going to be considerably, if not way less than what you're paying now for electricity. I don't know what the drawback is. And for a limited time, free $500. With that said, this is going to be, I'm going to let you take this moment, sir. Adam Silver, is he up on the podium? I see action on my.
I don't sit on my board yet. So I don't, if he is, I don't know what they think.
Or maybe they're just doing like a package right now of just highlights and clips. I see an image of Draymond Green and Big Al Horford, who has not announced whether he's going to opt into his player option yet. I will borderline guarantee that he will not pass up $6 million in money to play basketball at the age of 40. And we still wait for the selection. On that note, real quick here, as we wait for the Warriors to make this huge pick, DeAnthony Melton, we don't know yet if he's going to opt into the player option that he currently has available to him for the veteran minimum, approximately $3.5 million. What do you think's happening with DeAnthony Melton, and do you want him to come back?
I don't want him to come back at the veteran's minimum. I think a guy who has been a good citizen, a good steward, wants to make a living. There's more money out there for him. At this point, he doesn't have the ability to take less money. Even though the Warriors paid him $10 million in his first contract, I think he'll go to the highest bidder, quite honest.
And I've read speculation that's what he's going to do. I'm still bummed about the Braden Burris thing. I can't believe he went to 10. I was not even imagining that would have been realistic. And then suddenly he falls to 10. And it's like, damn, the Warriors could get a potential generational guard here. Nope. The Bucks got him instead. The ESPN television broadcast currently showing all the remaining prospects. Ade Mara, a possibility for the Warriors. Yaxel Lendeborg, a possibility for the Warriors. I don't see Hannes Steinbach being featured. I don't know if Kareem Lopez.
They're not taking him.
You like no chance in hell, you don't think?
No way.
So do you think it's going to come down to Lendeborg or Mara?
Or either Lopez.
Or Lopez.
Yeah, one of those guys.
God damn, what is taking so long? You'd think if the Warriors, if given how this has gone today so far, you think the Warriors would know by now who they're going to pick, unless there's a trade coming.
It might be.
If there were, what's
might be a trade. Maybe Trey Folks is involved.
Oh, because the Pelicans currently don't have a pick.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn on the volume on my TV for a second here. No trades. So no trades yet. I wonder if that's what's going on, because otherwise I imagine the Warriors would have their pick locked. They know who they want to do right now. I am really wondering right now if they're like this. Come on, Sam. Just give me 12 and 17. You son of a bitch. I swear to God, I'll call your house at 3 a.m. every night and hang up for 2 months straight if you don't do this right. Who knows? Who knows what the hell is going on right now? But that is crazy. This is crazy.
I love it.
I mean, I know you do, man. So it is exciting. So beyond the Warriors pick again, OKC has the 12th pick. Miami has the 13th pick. The Hornets have the 14th pick. Then it goes Chicago, Memphis again, and then OKC at 17. I don't know if there's any other trade backs that look appealing in terms of the Warriors getting multiple picks here. I know there's at least one other team that has a few picks lined up, but I can't really find that right now.
I think you're onto something though about the OKC and the Warriors, because with Jalen Williams getting hurt, they can't be in that situation again next year. So if OKC thinks that Yaxel Lendeborg, is kind of a plug-and-play guy, they could be talking, because they don't want to get caught up against the cap either. The Warriors would love to have a second draft pick. So, it's kind of interesting.
Well, Frank, do you want to tell the world who the new Golden State Warriors player is?
With the number 11 pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Golden State Warriors select Yaxel Lendeborg.
Where's my applause? There you go. Congratulations to the new member of the Golden State Warriors, Yaxel Lendeborg. I think this was a very safe pick. I don't think they're going to regret the pick. 24, is it old for a draft pick? Yes. 5 years from now, he's still in his 20s. Who gives a shit? As long as he can produce on day one, that's great. Frank, you had him atop your wish list. Why? And what do you expect the Warriors to get with Yaxel Lendeborg?
The Warriors are getting a man, not a boy. The Warriors are getting a guy who can play both forward positions. The Warriors are getting a guy who is already a two-way player, former MVP of the league. 2 leagues. He's 6'9", 6'10". He's not going to be intimidated by Draymond Green or anybody else on the Warriors. This guy wants to play and he wants to win. He's 24. He knows that, you know what? I don't have the same timeline as a teenager to get to my second contract. I got to get it cooking right now. So he's going to come in as a rookie, a 23, 24-year-old rookie, ready to go. He's going to be pushed by Guy Santos. Guy Santos is not going to give him anything. So this is a man that the Warriors needed right now, that's going to be competitive from the onset, and he's going to help them. This is the guy that they wanted. This is the guy that they needed. I'm happy the Warriors got him.
I'm happy to. Again, with Burris getting this close, that was a tease. Made me actually think that was a legitimate possibility. But Yaxel Lendeborg is a fantastic consolation prize if your mentality was similar to mine in that aspect. You see Dusty May there with 2 of his former players getting selected. Again, it took a little shine off the luster with Morez Johnson being picked first. That certainly did validate a lot of people who thought he should be picked ahead of Lendeborg. But with that said, dude, Yaxel Lendeborg, Kristen Peak, whose opinion I value and trust, and she's doing all the NBA TV coverage today for the draft. Like, she was so high on this guy. Mm-hmm. You know what you're talking about, and you're so high on this guy. I don't think the Warriors made a mistake here. I feel good about this.
No, they made a great pick.
Is he going to be a 3 or a 4, or do you see Kerr maybe playing him small ball 5 alongside Dre? How do you envision Lendeborg's role being with the Warriors this year?
I think primarily 3 and 4, but Kerr is definitely going to use him as a small ball 5 because he's smart and he's big and he's agile and he's fluid. So he's a type of player that Steve Kerr loves. He really is. I mean, he loved Brayton Berrios because he's a good basketball player, and also I think for sentimental reasons. He loved Arizona players.
Right.
He hasn't had a chance to draft one of them, but he's going to love Yaxel. Yaxel's going to be a great Warrior. He really is.
That's incredible. And this certainly makes one of the many positives of adding Yaxel Lendeborg is it makes it, to me, a lot easier to stomach Draymond Green being out there as your small ball 5. Mm-hmm. If Lendeborg's the 4 and then Guy Santos is your 3, I don't hate it. No. I don't hate it. I don't think you're competing for titles. I don't think you're even competing for – I don't know if you're competing for a play-in even. It's going to be interesting, and this is where the system may be incredibly useful because the system is efficient, offensively at least. But it's a good thing is what I'm trying to say. This is a good thing. I think –
here's the thing, Cy, also, and I agree with everything you said in terms of the evaluations, but here's the one key dynamic, half-court execution. The Warriors are one of the better teams in the NBA in half-court execution, where average to below-average teams wilt under pressure. The Warriors, when they're right, they execute in the half-court, and they win a lot of close games. So, he's going to be a hell of a player for the Warriors next year. He really is.
I agree. I'm excited about this pick too. They call me crazy in the chat. Brought up who's been a skeptic in our audience today, and I think he brought up the fact that Yaxel had some maturity issues, but then he followed that up, and I don't think I highlighted that before, with the maturity issues correlating with a video game addiction. That if that's the issue, don't worry. All right, everyone's playing video games. Most men are boys. They're still playing video games. Klay Thompson was a video game junkie. That to me is the furthest thing from a flag. If that's what your concern is that he likes to play Call of Duty until 3 a.m. So does 95% of men. Or maybe that's I'm overstating it, but it's a very common thing, especially for a 24-year-old. I'm not too worried. Genji Gaw comparing Yaxel Lendeborg to Kyle Kuzma. Fair comp?
No, I don't think so. I think fair comp in terms of ability, not an approach to basketball and professionalism. So, I like Kyle Kuzma, but Kyle Kuzma, if you had him under oath and you said, do you love basketball? I think he would say, I kind of like it. I don't really love it. I'm going to assume that Yaxel loves basketball. I think that's the difference.
Agreed. Who does Yaxel compare to anyone who's currently playing in the NBA?
He compares a little bit to me to Jason Tatum.
Interesting.
Not to the extent that he's that type of offensive player, but Jason Tatum is kind of an old school forward. He's not a true small forward. He just has unbelievable scoring ability. Yaxel to me reminds me of Jason Tatum a little bit. Long, slender, athletic. Can play both ends of the court.
Is he a playmaker? Like, does he need other players to set him up, or can he create his own shot?
I've seen enough tape to know that right now he's a complimentary offensive player.
Okay.
He isn't somebody who you're going to throw the ball to, but he can get a rebound and take it to length and finish with a dunk. He's a good passer. Dude is a good player, man. You're going to be shocked how good Yaxel is. He was drafted number 11. In some other drafts, he would have been 5 to 7.
That's a very fair point. I feel like any one of these guys in other drafts would have gone much higher. Now, let me ask you this, because the OKC Thunder just made their 12th pick, and why not? Let's keep rolling with the sound effect. This one is particularly interesting to me because this was Sam Presti's pick, just one following the Warriors, and it's going to make people wonder if Golden State's going to have buyer's remorse after the fact. Frank, who did OKC select with the 12th pick?
With the number 12 pick, the OKC Thunder select 7'3", Ade Mara of Michigan.
I'm going only because it's OKC, they're a rival. Ade Mara could be great for all we know. And with Ade Mara being selected 12th, it's going to beg this question. Did the Warriors just screw up because maybe Ade Mara was the better player? In other words, did Mike Dunleavy Jr. in hindsight pick the wrong guy strictly because Sam Presti went with Ade Mara? Or would the Thunder have gone with Yaxel? I'm sorry. Do you get what I'm trying to ask here?
Yeah,
Like, did the Warriors screw up by going with Yaxel is what I'm asking, given Sam Presti went with Ade?
Time will tell. Like I said before, I would not have had a problem with the Warriors taking Ade Mara at number 11 if they had somebody in mind that they thought could play the forward position. They clearly didn't have that. As you said, the LeBron thing was kind of a pipe dream, so that was not going to happen. So they did what they thought was the greatest need, which is to go out and get a wing guy who could play. Now, from OKC's perspective, they like having Ade Mara, but this is kind of a financial thing. I don't know if they bring Hartenstein back now. That was a team option on a contract for $28.5 million. I think he's gone.
I also think the OKC is going to make a run maybe at a guy like Mitchell Robinson, someone who can play some real legitimate defense on Victor Wembanyama, who is formerly, it's not even up for discussion anymore, the biggest rival for OKC. But I'm with you. Ade Mara, and maybe you add Mitchell Robinson, you move on from Hartenstein, and you suddenly have two centers that can at least, eat up minutes, not wasting minutes defending Victor Wembanyama. I agree. I think, and I think Julian Bashir made a very good point in our chat. I can't find it now. Right here. Yeah. Julian Bashir writing that OKC can actually take the risk. They can afford to take the risk on a Ade Mara because of how much more depth they have. They don't have to play him heavy minutes either. They can play him spot minutes in a specific role. Whereas with the Warriors, he would be like a starting center. He'd be forced to play a bigger role. So maybe it just fit wise. This all, works out in the end. So I'm happy though about the Yaxel Lendeborg pick. I think that was a good pick. I'm with you on that. This is a player that's going to be able to come in right away, start playing. Frank, as we start to wrap it up, I mean, the draft is going to keep going, but we're going to, we're a Warriors show. But I want to look at the Warriors and how their roster looks now that they have Yaxel on it. So the projected starting five for next year, hypothetically, with players under contract, could look like this: Stephen Curry, Brandon Podziemski, Guy Santos, Yaxel Lendeborg, Draymond Green. That's your starting five. Coming off the bench for you, Al Horford. Who else is under contract? Will Richard is another one.
Let's assume that at this point, Porzingis is going to be resigned. He's going to be resigned. Okay, Porzingis is going to start. Okay.
There you go. Okay, and then so it would be. So would Guy Santos be your small forward or Alexa Borg?
Out of respect, knowing Steve Kerr, I think he'd probably start Guy Santos and bring Yaxel off the bench until he proves that he should be the starter. But I think he's first player off the bench next year, definitely.
Nothing wrong with depth, right? I mean, it's all the better. The Warriors have some holes to fill here. Their roster is far from complete. Two players I want to focus on that I think the Warriors should absolutely bring back. And Frank, I don't know if you agree with me on this sentiment or not. LJ Cryer, I want him back. I love it. I love this kid, and I want to see what year two looks like with a bigger role. And then Charles Bassey, who I think you can get on the veteran minimum. And he's a physical big dude. I'd rather have Charles Bassey than Kristaps Porzingis, honestly. I don't care if he can't shoot the three. That's just me, though. But those two players I would love to have back. What are your thoughts?
Definitely Bassey. LJ Cryer, two-way contract, man. I can't give that guy a legitimate NBA contract until I see him playing with a lead. I mean, when he plays on the court, when he was playing last year, most of the time they were kind of playing out the string. It really didn't matter. I need to see him be effective against top line NBA players because, really because of his measurables. I mean, I love him like you do. I love to see guys win. But I can't be emotional about LJ Cryer. Just me, not you. I can't be emotional and say because I want him to be successful, I'm going to give him a contract. I give him a two-way contract and hopefully give him an opportunity to prove himself again.
So in your eyes, LJ Cryer has not earned a guaranteed minimum yet?
Oh.
Okay. All right. But Bassey, you do endorse?
Yes, absolutely.
Anyone else out there that sticks out to you? Do you want me to give you a list of names or anybody off the top of your head?
Yeah. I mean, I want GP2 back.
Okay. All right.
I want him back.
And he probably will be. He probably will be. It would shock me if he wasn't. Yeah. But in terms of free agents on other teams, and I have this list right here, I want to read off a few names that represent a realistic perspective. Meaning,
Nick. I saw something that had Nick Richards. Also, if I could get Nick Richards on a veteran's minimum contract, I'll be interested in him also.
And Nick Richards, is he currently on the Suns?
Yes.
All right. So unrestricted free agents. I want to name some here, but for some reason my something's wrong with my website here. Oh, here, available. There we go. I had to press the wrong button. All right, I'm going to give you some names of unrestricted free agents, and let me know what you think. All right. And these are players who, again, the Warriors have the mid-level exception they could spend. They also have the biannual exception. The mid-level exception is good for approximately $15, maybe $16 million. The biannual is good for $5 to $6 million. My take with Porzingis is you do not give him a penny over $5 million. But again, this is Dunleavy we're talking about. So who the hell knows? Here are some other guys out there, though, that could be available for either the mid-level and or the biannual. And let me know what you think. John Collins?
Maybe.
Anthony Simons?
Maybe.
Nikola Vucevic?
Who is he? What did he last play at? Who is
Vooch was with the Celtics last year after playing for the Bulls for the previous few years. Aging center who can stretch the floor.
No.
Okay. Colin Sexton.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Zach Collins.
Zach Collins. Who did he play for last year?
Last year he was Spurs. No, not Spurs.
Zach Collins. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
I think Warriors fans know him most from his days with the Blazers. I think.
Gonzaga too.
And Zach's correct. My number one target, if you're the Warriors, is this player, Rui Hachimura. What are your thoughts?
Maybe I wouldn't pay him the $15 million by the mid-level exception. I mean, not that he's not a good player, but beyond catching and shooting, he can't dribble, he can't pass.
True.
He doesn't make real quick decisions. What he does is he stands in the corner and makes the corner jump shot. He can do that. But the Warriors ask their forwards to do a lot more than that. So, I mean, he has some holes basketball-wise. He's a good player, but I don't know if he fits great with the Warriors.
Fair enough. Whether we have another pick that we interrupt our coverage with, the Miami Heat with the number 13 pick in the NBA draft. And this goes to show, as we keep reading these names, how deep this draft is. Miami. Fort Frank.
With the number 13 pick, the Miami Heat draft freshman, 6'10" forward, Nate Ahmed, University of Tennessee.
This may or may not be a bold take. Great selection for Miami. They just got a lot better. Your thoughts?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, great pick for Miami because it's going to Milwaukee. And when you think about it, now Milwaukee has they have Berrios, right, at number 10. They drafted Brayton Berrios at number 10. And they have Nate Ahmed.
My mood has changed, Frank, because I'm sour at the Bucks for taking Burris with the 10th pick, and now that I know they got Burris and Nate Ahmed, personal feelings aside, this is a hell of a draft for them. I'm a little bitter still. This is fantastic.
Awesome.
That's a great combo.
Yes, I totally agree.
And so the Bucks will have Ryan Rollins. They're going to have Braden Burris. They're going to have Nate Ament. Kyle Kuzma is still on their team. I could see them trading him. Miles Bridges is on that team. Tyler Hero, I think, is currently on that team, but something tells me they're going to trade him. Detroit looks like the obvious fit there if the Pistons can pull that off. But Nate Ament, to the Bucks. Yep. I was thinking the Heat were going to suddenly have him coming off the bench to help Giannis and Bam out, but no, he goes to Milwaukee.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
No, I'm saying, I mean, I like what Milwaukee has done. I mean, like, it's like I listen to you, and sometimes I'm like, they should listen to Cy. It's hard, but
Thanks,
they listen. I'm not seriously. Like the Warriors, I mean, you could build a strong case for saying, you know what, just cave it in, tear it down. You have 4 championships and rebuild this thing, and we'll be good in 3 to 5 years. They don't want to do that because of Stephen Curry and because they don't want any empty seats. So they continue along this path. But there's a real strong argument to be made that, you know what, you have a run and then you have to find a way to rebuild it. And that's what Milwaukee is doing. And I respect it. I really do.
I respect it too. I wholeheartedly agree with it. Again, like Connor Turner was on our show just the other night. And Connor, thank you so much for taking some time out. And what he said, I felt was very obvious, but I also don't see anybody else bringing this up. He took us back to the 2019-2020 season. This was the year after the fifth and final visit to the NBA Finals. During that 5-year stretch, they went back one more time in 2022. But that team was awful. They had the worst record in the NBA. Stephen Curry gets hurt after 3 games when what's his name fell on his hand and crushed it.
Oh, right,
and some people view that as a blessing because it allowed Steph to take a year off and after a 5-year run that would exhaust anybody. But that team, even if Steph had stayed healthy that season, the Warriors were still going to be very bad. And I do see a lot of similarities to this with this team and that team where this can be a disaster. Frank, what would prevent that with this team? Like, what gives you hope that this is not going to be a repeat of 2019-20?
As a player myself, I never really have like a negative outlook. So
okay.
I have to assume that players are going to be healthy. And when I look at this collection of players with this coaching staff, if the Warriors are healthy because they execute in the half court, because even last year they were one of the teams that took care of the ball. I mean, they kind of vacillate years. Some years they're terrible managing the basketball. Other years they're pretty darn good. They were pretty good last year. So the Warriors are going to beat teams simply because they're smarter and they execute better. That doesn't necessarily help you win championships, but the Warriors are not going to be a horrible team. They just won't be because they execute.
And you base that on what are you basing that on? You base it on the culture?
I base it on the high IQ of the players and the system, free throw shooting, lack of turnovers, rebounding. If you out-rebound most teams, forget about the stars. If you out-rebound most teams and you don't turn the ball over and you consistently are among the league's best in assists, that means pretty average players are finding a way to either score themselves or help people score, all right, as opposed to jacking up bad shots, which is what a lot of teams do. So those intangibles, those fundamentals ultimately will produce wins for you.
I love your optimism, Frank. I hope you're right. I really do. I'm really concerned about what we're going to get this season. This is a troll comment, but it is funny, and if you make people laugh, I'm rolling with it. Nick the Greek in our chat saying that Yaxel Lendeborg is the new Anthony Lamb. This one is.
Oh my God,
that's harsh. It's a very harsh comment. Definitely. Well, I don't want to say definitely because who the hell knows what's going to happen in the future, but in all likelihood, an egregious statement that does not reflect reality. Frank, just so we can make this official and a little serious here, why is Nick the Greek wrong about comparing Yaxel Lendeborg to Anthony Lamb?
Because I think that we've seen enough from Yaxel in a wide open space. And I'm going to just take last year as a member of University of Michigan. Michigan doesn't play around. They can't play around based on some of the stuff that they've had over the past few years. This guy was on television and on the front stage constantly last year. We haven't heard anything negative or nefarious about this guy. He has a past, but I'm not going to hold people accountable forever. Based on what I've seen, based on the interviews, based on how I see him play the game, I'm comfortable with him being a member of the Golden State Warriors.
And I do like what Noah Rocks adds, that if he is actually like Anthony Lamb, at least he's going to get playing minutes. Since Steve Kerr like to play him too. I know we're just joshing here. Tracy McKindle in our chat adding that Lendeborg actually seemed happy to be drafted by the Warriors. That is a good thing. You do want a player who wants to play for you, so that's a positive, I think. And I do like the effect Draymond Green has on certain players in terms of the lessons he imparts, the tutelage. We saw that, for example, like Kuminga with the Hawks in the postseason last year, when two of the three losses by the Knicks came at the hands of Kuminga and company in the Hawks. But Kuminga's defense, after the fact, he attributed Draymond Green for teaching him some things that he picked up there. So looking forward to the tutelage there as well. We have another pick. As we start to wrap it up here, we're not going to go through all 30. We got shit to do besides the draft. But another pick. This one is, well, I'll let Frank take it away. Go for it, sir.
The Charlotte Hornets draft forward Hannah Steinbach, University of Washington.
I like that. The Hornets, if memory serves correct, they're one other big on their roster I could think of is Diabate. I think that's how you pronounce his name. One-dimensional big. He's there mostly for defense and rebounding, whereas Steinbach, at least from scouting reports, if they're accurate, reflect a player who has a decent offensive skill set. I've had multiple people tell me he has the biggest hands in the draft. I don't know if that's true or not. What are your thoughts on Hannes? No relation to Terry.
Well, the one thing that I'll say about him that I respect is the German players that come into the NBA have been tough guys. So, if he's an interior player and he's willing to play a tough physical brand of basketball, it's a win for Charlotte because they got a lot of offensive players who like to shoot. This guy put up pretty big numbers at Washington also. He's legitimately 6'10", 6'11". So if he's going to be a physical force in there, then he could be the steal of the draft. He really could because because he hasn't had a lot of national exposure. Washington wasn't very good, although he played really well last year. He put some numbers up. But if he's willing to engage the physicality of the NBA, that's exactly what Charlotte is missing.
Cool. Yeah. And again, the Warriors, good pick for the Hornets, I think, too. And that's a team that's on the up. If you're a Hornets fan, you are elated because this is a young team that's only going to get better. And yeah, bravo. Any final thoughts, Frank? Let's promote your channel. It's called In the Dungeon. I tag it in the YouTube description. So if you go down to the Golden Days YouTube description, you can find two vitally important links. One against Sunrun, our official sponsor. The link is there. Two, you can just tag In the Dungeon, Frank's show. You got that going on. Promote away. Anything else you want to bring up as we start to wrap up?
I actually want to promote you. I really
come
do.
on, man.
No. Seriously, because because it's hard to do this. I think you have one of the best shows in the country for what you do. I mean, you cover. No. You cover the Warriors pretty extensively. No one's ever going to question your passion. I love all of the auxiliary things that you do with your channel. I actually need a real nice tutoring session for you to help me with my.
I'm there for you anytime, Frank.
I appreciate it. Now,
don't ever be shy. Like that, all it takes is just asking, and I'm happily there for you, man. That goes for.
Okay, I have time now, so I'm definitely going to do it.
Yeah.
The In the Dungeon show, chef kiss to my listeners. I have one of the most loyal fan bases, support bases, and I'm blown away about the activity that they put into the show. I really appreciate it. With that said, we need more people to check the show out. I had said that I wasn't going to have any guests until I had at least 1,000 subscribers. It's hard as hell to get 1,000 subscribers.
Yes, it is.
It's pretty darn hard. Right now, we're on the doorstep of 400, but we need to get to 1,000, and then I'll start to have some people on. But recently, I had two cats who are lightly affiliated with NBADraft.com, NBADraft.net.
Yes.
We did kind of a mock draft show that was highly viewed. So people want that interactive type of conversation. There was somebody in the chat who even mentioned that. So I'm willing to do that, but we got to ramp up the numbers. You guys got to help me, and I'll definitely help you. But I really enjoy doing the show. I'm most proud of the fact that we're really, really high in content. It's a quality show.
And the person with NBA Draft.net, was it Aaron Smith? Is that who you had on your show?
It wasn't Aaron Smith. It was
okay.
It was Eric Gouling. I'm a butcher's
okay.
name. I call him Eric G.
Nice.
And also Michael Vinzenberg, also who's affiliated with another entity now. I think is no, I don't want to mispronounce it, but both of these guys do a phenomenal job covering players at the college level and at the NBA level. They have deep followings. And if you go to my channel and you look at that mock draft, you'll be able to see who these guys are. But they're pretty well-known players in the evaluation game. So I feel very proud to have them on.
Genji Gawk giving you some love too, saying you're a great guest. We'll do this far more often. I do not reach out to you enough. A huge reason is I just don't want to trouble you. But we always appreciate you coming on the show. We're not done yet. We're starting to wrap it up. But this is interesting. Yadameen in our chat. Unless you got to go, Frank. In which
no.
We're going to go soon. I'm not going to keep you here all day. We've already been on for an hour 40 nearly. But Yadameen in our chat, and I'm going to search the socials here real fast, writing that Joe Lacob and Mike Dunleavy Jr. apparently had a disagreement, according to a tweet on Twitter during the pick. And one message in our chat wouldn't have raised an eyebrow from me until I saw another one. Now one eyebrow's raised. Start writing. Macchiano writes, Joe Lacob not happy with the pick. Let me see what people are talking about on socials. Have you seen what people are talking about yet? Do you?
No, I haven't seen it. But listen, Joe Lacob is a great owner, but he was pissed off that they didn't take the kid from Oregon when the Warriors took Moses Moody.
Right, Chris Duarte. Yes.
And Morte's not in the league now. We knew after 2 years that he wasn't going to make it. So that was Joe Lacob all the way. So, Joe, I think you're a great owner. Let these people do their jobs, man. Let them do their jobs.
NBA and NBA Central tweeted this, and we'll show the visual right here. Who gives a shit? Now, look, this is the perk of watching a live show. If we have to cut this out after the fact because of some sort of copyright thing, then anyone watching the recorded version of this will not see the visual. The podcast audience will not get audio here, so we'll try to interpret the best we can. But this was the footage from the draft room of the Golden State Warriors, and this footage is courtesy, I believe, of ESPN.com. And let's see if we can point out, again, no audio, but let's see if we can point out where this disagreement took place. I wish I could do a slow-mo version of this. No, I can. Let's see. Let's do the playback speed. We'll go 0.25. All right, so let's watch a slow-mo version. There's Mike Dunleavy Jr. right there on your screen, far right.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Lacob is wearing blue with a collared shirt. I don't know who that dude is next to him. But as we watch this in slow motion, it does look like an animated well, Joe Lacob's like using his hands.
Right.
I don't know if that means anything.
I mean, the only thing that I can say, and obviously I didn't see it. There might have been some type of switcheroo at the end, that type of situation where maybe they didn't think a player was going to be there, and they were set on drafting one guy, and then all of a sudden the guy they really wanted was there. I mean, that's a logical explanation. I don't know, but in the same breath, I'm not into owners, getting in the way of people doing their jobs. I'm just not, man. I mean, I'm a Knicks fan. We hadn't won in 53 years, right? And James Dolan the notorious James Dolan finally hired Leon Rose and said, Leon, go do your job and I'll get out of the way and cut the checks. I like that. So, if Joe Lacob wants to be the general manager, then be the general manager.
Well, they're definitely, it does look like there was a disagreement because, and again, I'm replaying this in super slow motion, but you see here, like whatever was discussed between the two, then Mike Dunleavy Jr., what's up?
I said, yeah, Lacob's chest is out. It's just not.
His chest is out. And then watch at this part here, you see Dunleavy's now looking at his phone.
Right.
But then it's this gesture from Lacob that I think is leading people to believe. First, so Dunleavy gets on his phone. Who knows who the hell he's calling to either cancel a trade or what's going on here. But then you see Joe Lacob right here with a look of frustration. And he does the hand thing. Watch right here. I think he does the exasperated, what the hell? Yeah, like he had his hands up like what the so oh man, here's another question, Frank. And this stuff always fascinates me. This is the Warriors draft headquarters. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people just sitting down on this table. Then there is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So 25 people in this room that I count. What the hell are these people doing, Frank? What is their value? Are they just fans? I mean, do they just know people in the organization and they're just hanging out as just to witness it? Are they all stealing money from Joe, doing worthless things? Like, what do you think is going on here?
I think there's definitely some who you know-ish type stuff going on. It is. I mean, it happens. It happens. So, I mean, some of them got real jobs and some of them don't. That's how it works. If you're in the crowd, then you get invited.
The NBA 30 years ago, like if you had a typical draft room like this, would have probably what, like 10% of the people that you see now?
I mean, you would have 10% of the people, and you would probably have like half-eaten hamburgers on the console, hot dogs, sodas, not the most professional environment. Now it's all buttoned up. It's a whole different world now.
Look, we're strictly speculating here, but if you had to guess, if someone was like, Frank, here's $1,000, be a mind reader for me, what happened here? Do you think? What's your prediction for what went down there? And I'll start. My prediction is Joe Lacob wanted maybe a Nate Ament, maybe an Ade Mara, maybe there was a trade down possibility. But something tells me Joe was looking at the youngster with the highest potential. And Mike was like, dude, like, what are we doing here? Do you know who the coach is of this team, Joe? Did you forget that? Who the hell knows, though? In your opinion, what do you think happened there that resulted in Joe being a bit flabbergasted?
All of the above. I think there was probably a breakdown. No, I think there was probably a breakdown in communication where Joe wanted to be locked in to the last second. And then somehow, some way, that communication got lost a little bit. Now, hey, my stance is let Mike Dunleavy Jr. do his job.
Yeah.
And then hold him accountable. Even if you have some differences of opinion with him, that's not the forum in front of these people that you express yourself. Now, with that said, we don't know what Joe Lacob's expressions really mean because we're not there. but aesthetically, it looks like he wasn't ready to have cookies and ice cream with Mike Dunleavy Jr.
But another prediction I might have is maybe Joe was not frustrated with Mike Dunleavy Jr. Maybe he did this because Mike just told him, yeah, Sam will not make the trade. Sam wants to keep 12 and 17. Okay. And Joe's like, right. It could also be something like that where it's not even a disagreement.
Yeah, you're right.
Who the hell knows? But that is funny. And we did have one more pick come down, Frank. This is a person whose name I've never heard of in my life. Maybe you have an analysis, maybe you don't, but you do have a name. Who's picked next by who?
Swain, University of Texas, right? University of Texas.
Correct.
With the 15th pick, he goes to Chicago Bulls. What's his first name? Darius? What's his first name?
With the 15th pick was made by Dalen Swain.
Yeah. I watched him play in NC2A. He's a talented wing. I think I don't like this pick by Chicago. I don't like it. I think they should have drafted Phylon at 15.
And Cameron Carr is available too.
Yeah, and Cameron Carr. I don't like this pick.
We also have the 16th pick. Frank, who did the Grizz select?
I can't see his name, but they drafted Kurtz, right, out of Iowa.
Bennett Sturtz.
Yeah, Bennett Sturtz out of Purdue or Iowa. I think it's Iowa. Yeah. I like him. I think he.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I love him. He followed his coach at various levels of basketball. His head coach, I can't think of his name right now, but he was at D3. He played for him there. Then he went to Division II, played for him there, and he followed him to Iowa. I love his measurables. This is a smart pick by the Grizzlies. He's 6'4". He can run an offense. He's going to be unbothered by some of the chaos that might happen in Memphis. He's going to be a good player. He's going to play next year. He's going to be good.
So Memphis just got better, and then this Dalen Swain, a 6'8", 220-pound guard, listed as a guard at 6'8", 220, out of Texas. That was the Bulls pick. But you're saying that you don't like that pick for the Bulls?
No, I don't. Because I think he's a talented player, but every time I saw him, he was scoring the ball.
Okay.
I haven't seen him do anything else except score. And I mean, I'm just a big Phylon guy. I really like him. I think he's underrated. I think he and Kristen Anderson have a chance to. I'm not going to say that they're going to be Maxwell, the guard for Philly, but these guys could be top-notch NBA players at some point. Kristen Anderson, the guard from Texas Tech, and Phylon. Phylon scores the basketball as easy as anybody in college basketball.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Money check up in the chat saying Joe Lacob was upset because the catering ran out of caviar. Rich bougie assholes. Anyways, I want to finish running through these free agents. We finished up on Rui Hachimura. A few more names for you.
Okay.
And again, it's not a sexy list for who the Warriors can fill out their roster with in terms of free agents, and that might be why they ultimately go back to Kristaps Porzingis. I love that you and I are on the same page though about him. Just unless it's for a ridiculously cheap price, what are you doing? He's not a durable player. You need durability with this roster. Do you have a reaction to Kelly Olynyk, who's a free agent?
Dude, it's time to go home, man. Go home. You go home. I mean,
all right, we're done. We're on that note. We're done.
No. I'm talking about Kelly Olynyk.
Well, I thought you were going Kelly Olynyk.
No.
That's the cue. We're done.
No,
okay, a few more. We're almost done.
Kelly Olynyk. I mean, you played 15 years. You've been paid for 15 years.
Yeah, he's old. He's old. Yeah, that's fair.
Dude.
I'd take Robert Williams if he was available on the cheap over Porzingis, but that's just me. What are your thoughts?
I love it.
Me too. Is Matisse Thybulle too much of a reach in terms of a one-dimensional type player that the Warriors could use, but maybe not that important?
No, Europe bound, man.
All right, I'll do a few more names. Luke Kennard would be interesting, but I think the Lakers are going to re-sign him. I don't think he'll be available. I don't bring up Quentin Grimes' name just because I think he's going to be signed for more than the mid-level exception. I don't think he's in the Warriors' price range. Kelly Oubre Jr., the odds of him coming back to the Warriors, slim to none. No. He's a free agent. Dean Wade is one that I actually like. What are your thoughts on Dean Wade to the Warriors?
Not very strong. I like him. He's just not. I mean, he doesn't do anything besides shoot. He's a tough kid. You're right. He doesn't do anything besides shoot.
And he's the only reason why I don't mind him is because he can't shoot, which is important in basketball, and he also gives you some size. I think he's 6'9" as a wing. Yeah. But defensively, you're right. He's a massive liability. You know, one player I would love on the Warriors, and I know there's no chance they're going to sign him this offseason. I'd take him over Porzingis as well. Andre Drummond, who, side note, is not even 33 yet. I thought he was like 37, 38 by now.
You know what? Drummond, to his credit, has performed pretty darn well in his backup role. He has.
Agreed. And he's got that corner three now. Who would have ever envisioned Andre Drummond suddenly having a 3-point sniper?
He's been a revelation. He has.
Incredible. Is Kevin Love too old for the Warriors?
Yeah.
I agree. I'm with you on that. Tim Hardaway Jr.
He's going to be too expensive.
You think so? Really? Okay.
Yeah, I do. I would love him. He's a good player.
Me too.
I think he would be a little too expensive. If they could pull him off, that would be awesome.
Is Larry Nance Jr. Is he washed? Is that?
Yeah.
I think so.
He's washed.
You said you want GP2 back, and that's probably going to happen.
Yes.
Thomas Bryant.
I wouldn't mind him. I
wouldn't mind it either.
Yeah. And the veteran minimum. Oh yeah. I love him.
Well, and again, you also have the mid-level exception and the biannual exception, but you're saying veteran minimum only for Thomas Bryant. Fair enough. Bruce Brown.
No.
Okay.
No.
A player that you are very familiar with, and he's an unrestricted free agent, Landry Shamet.
I love Larry Shamet, but he's going to be the Knicks.
He's not going anywhere.
No.
Josh Okogie, who, side note, is not even 28 yet.
To be honest, his agent is a really good friend of mine, Calvin Andrews. Josh Okogie is going to be good wherever he signs. He's probably going to re-sign with Houston, but I wouldn't mind Josh Okogie simply because I know what I'm going to get from him. Tough, solid defense, a guy who gives full effort every game.
Agreed. I actually think Okogie could be one of those like underrated type picks for a team that needs wings. On that same vein, Amir Coffey.
Doesn't really fit the Warriors. Good player, but just not because he can't do anything on the right side of the court. He can't do it with his right hand. Yeah. He
can't dribble right?
No.
Did not know that. That's kind of messed up.
No. But he has wide shoulders. No, I'm kidding.
I hope you watch enough to hear my references to you when it comes to Quinn Post. That just always sticks in my head, dude.
People on my show reference it now. So
the narrow shoulders. It never leaves my head. Frank, should the Warriors bring Seth Curry back?
Only if Steph makes him.
Okay, so if Steph advocates for it, go for it. Otherwise,
no.
He's old. Yeah, he had too much dad bod going this season. Right. It was a little disappointing, to be honest. Right. Jacques Lindell.
I like Jacques Lindell.
Me too.
Yeah. No, I'm comfortable with him. He plays hard. He made $10 million last year. He's going to.
Did he really?
Oh yeah. He wants to make some money, and I think he's going to get some money. He's a serviceable backup. The Warriors would love to have Jacques Lindell, man.
I would think so too. And the Hawks definitely missed him in the postseason last year. This is a player I wanted the Warriors to sign last year, and he ended up going to the Sacramento Kings on a veteran minimum and had a decent season. I still think he would serve a role with the Warriors if they looked at him this offseason, and that player is Precious Achiuwa. Your thoughts?
I think he's better suited for Sacramento. Okay. I think they're going to re-sign him because he can't shoot. He can't shoot. Yeah. He can't shoot. He really can't pass. He's just kind of a physical guy who makes plays. I love his motor, but he's light in skills. If you're light in skills, then the Warriors probably can't use you.
Is Keon Ellis going to be in the Warriors' budget? And if yes, would you want him?
I like Keon Ellis. Keon Ellis is a really good player. But if you have Keon Ellis, you don't need GP2. I would rather have GP2. They're both kind of bulldog guards. He probably shoots a little bit better. GP2 is, more of a dunker space guy near the basket. You don't need both of them.
This name is an interesting one. I don't think the Warriors will take a flyer on him, but the fact that he's out there is intriguing. And this is a guy that was on the Nets. He got traded to the Bucks. Him and Doc Rivers did not get along clearly. I think he has some mental issues that need sorted out, but I also think, like most people, those issues can be sorted out, and that's Cam Thomas.
No way.
I figured. He's a weird one, right? A guy that can drop 20 a night, no problem, but can't fit anywhere. It's a weird one. This is where I wish, like, he probably needs therapy. He probably needs a good professional to, make him realize, like, give him. I think he lacks self-awareness. I think
listen, I got a rule. If somebody offers you $40 million, I don't care how much you think you're worth, you don't turn it down. The Nets offered him around $40 million, and he wanted to bet on himself. And you know what? I'll bet on myself in 2 or 3 years. Right now, I'm going to bet on this $40 million. So, he might not even be back in the league, to be quite honest with you.
You might be right. And that's crazy if that's true. But again, it goes to show scoring by itself is just not enough in the NBA. Cool Breeze in our chat adding that Joe Lacob and Dunleavy, the argument was before the Warriors pick. I think we knew that already, though. What we don't know is the context of the argument. And who knows if we ever will know, because if it was a trade or something like that, I can't see anybody, divulging what happened. Have there been any more picks? Oh, yeah, we got one more. Okay, OKC with the 17th pick. We'll wrap it up with this one. Frank, take it away. Let's make this the last one of the night, and then we'll wrap.
With the 17th pick, the OKC Thunder went for brains and talent. They draft Okorie, University of Stanford. Oh, Stanford's not a university. It's Stanford University. Okorie, right? Okorie.
Who is this guy? I don't know anything about him.
He's a guard. I can't see his first name. I only see his initial.
It's Abuka Okorie from Stanford.
Okay, Abuka Okorie. He's smallish. He's 6'2", but he's a bucket. He can score. If he can transition to the point guard position, then they might have something. I think with guys like Lou Dort, guys who can't shoot, they want to transition a little bit to get a little more scoring in the backcourt. He's probably not going to play a lot, but he's a talent, though. He's a talent.
It's interesting picks here from 14 on. I'm not the fact that Fallon is still available, a Carr is still available.
Christian Anderson still available.
This is an interesting one. The players being picked here. I want to finish on this note, Frank, if that's okay with you. And and what I want to finish on is looking at the OKC Thunder. They gave Aaron Wiggins away for practically nothing, a pair of second-round picks, and I don't think he's the last one that the Thunder are going to move on from. A couple players on the roster who might be available for practically nothing. One of those is Lou Dort. I'm sorry. Any thoughts there about the Warriors maybe taking a flyer on him, maybe trading a second-round pick or two, and I don't know or not?
Well, I mean, Lou Dort makes a lot of money,
right?
And he's in his prime. So I think he could stomach the mid-level exception if somebody wants to pay him $15 million. But I mean, his shooting numbers are horrific. They really
you're not getting him for offense. Yeah, he's a defense guy, right?
But he's going to be a high-priced guy. So if you can get him on a vet minimum, then yeah. But he wants to make big money. So I don't think he fit with the Warriors.
Well, I'm looking at his contract right now. I don't think he is an unrestricted free agent. His contract
team option. It's a team option.
You're right. It's a team option. So this goes back to the Jimmy Butler thing. And I'm sorry, I said we'd finish with OKC. Let's finish on this. Why do you want the Warriors to keep Jimmy Butler when he might not be available for at least half the season? Realistically, we're not going to see him till January, February. So why keep him despite that? And given his contract could be flipped for multiple assets, if not at least one.
All right. If you can trade Jimmy Butler's contract for some bona fide players, I'm open to that.
Okay.
But if Jimmy Butler is back healthy and the Warriors are in a position to win a series, I'm going to take Jimmy Butler because I know what he's going to do in the playoffs if he's healthy. Now, again, my mindset is always going to be more positive than negative. I just never really take like the negative perspective. So I'm assuming they won't put him on the court unless he's healthy. If Jimmy Butler is healthy, I want him on my team. Because he's coming off the books at the end of the year anyway. I want that $50 million slot that I can negotiate with at the end of next year. I don't want to give that away.
The sad thing is the way the cap is structured, that $56 million is not going to be something you could spend on other free agents. Given Steph's going to make like 60 plus, although I guess Draymond's going to be off the books too. So that'll make things a little interesting. But I hear you. I'm curious if they could even move the deal. I just worry about this roster. Like, what are they going to do until January? Right. I love your optimism though, too. I wish I could live as healthy as you do mentally speaking.
I mean, it's professional basketball is really interesting because, when you see the names and the stats and the glamour of all these players, every year, the same teams are working towards the play-in. Every year, regardless of who's on the team, the same organizations, the Miamis of the world, the Golden State Warriors of the world, and the teams that ultimately slip to the bottom, regardless of who they have, because they change from year to year, they're still at the bottom. So I'm going to give the Warriors credit for being a well-run, well-coached organization with Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. And I even got to give Pod some credit. Pod has an inflated view of himself. Yeah, oh my God. But, let's give him some credit. He's proved that he's an NBA player. He got pride, man. I love players who have pride. I really do.
I love his durability. I mentioned this before. The delusional part of my brain that just, is the fan, right? That like 5% of my brain has this hope that Podziemski can turn into Jalen Brunson. There's so much delusion there. This is not something I actually believe. It's just that it's that one part of my brain, kind of like where you're optimistic with things. The optimistic part of my brain that just wants what's best for the Warriors is like, well, maybe it could be a Jalen Brunson, maybe.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. We got one more pick before we go, and if there's picks happening while we're live, let's get to it. Frank, who did Charlotte? Was that their pick?
Yes. Yeah. With the 18th pick, my personal favorite pick in this year's draft.
Wow.
Hornets draft Christian Anderson Jr. Texas Tech University.
Texas Tech.
An absolute steal.
Is that the same school that wants to play that QB who was gambling on the Hoosiers?
Yes.
That's crazy.
That would be the one.
So Christian Anderson, you call this the best pick of the draft. Why is Christian Anderson, why do you like him so much?
Because he's underrated. He reminds me of Maxwell. He's 6'2".
Vernon Maxwell?
Not Vernon Maxwell from Philly.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, okay. Quick as hell, can finish at the rim. He's going to be a 36 to 38% three-point shooter. He's going to get on the court right away. I think he's going to start some games in the NBA. Maybe even be a legitimate starter. This dude is underrated. He's really good. You meant Tyrese Maxey, right? Yes. Okay. The moment he said Maxwell, I'm like, Vernon Maxwell. No, I said Maxwell. I meant Maxey. It's not a big deal. I bet it just made me start thinking about picking up shards of glass and him and Akeem. And it's very similar to Tyrese Maxey. those amazing stories of Akeem. I love how all the stories have one common theme. Akeem, before he switched to Islam, very angry. You don't want to mess with him. He could kill you. Akeem, once he found religion, peaceful, calm. Right. There you go. I just love Vernon Maxwell when he goes, man, he's got hands that can cut meat. What a storyteller, dude. All right. So there's LeBaron Fallon Jr. Poor guy. It is a bummer if you're one of those dudes that just where you're falling in the draft and just waiting. That's rough. But, San Antonio might get him though at 20. Very possible. You're right. Wow. Yeah, just
Just what we need. More luck for San Antonio and the Thunder, two teams that are going to vote this thing for ages. Frank, this was an absolute blast, brother. Yaxel Lendeborg is your official new Golden State Warrior. And this was the guy you wanted from the moment we started to now. That was your boy. A little disappointment with Braden Burris falling all the way to 10. Such a tease there, but you and I combined, we both had two players, and your number one was Yaxel. My number one was Burris, but two was Yaxel. So Yaxel Lendeborg, I don't hate it. I'll say that much, man. And I'm excited about the prospect and the fact that the Warriors actually have some physicality and size for this coming season. Been a long time since we could brag about that. They could even go with a crazy-ass big lineup where Al Horford's your 5, Draymond's your 4, Yaxel's your 3, put Guy Santos at the 2, and then let Stephen Curry have this army of monsters around him, forging walls. And I think all 4 of those guys can space the floor, except even Draymond so-so. But yeah, sign me up. I'm curious.
Why not?
Why not? Exactly. We look forward to having you back on soon, brother. Last thing, I feel like I've said this 10 times now. The last thing before we go, this will be the real last thing. Quinton Post, do you want him back? Because I have no idea if the Warriors will bring him back.
No, he's barbecue chicken, dude. No. I mean, if you play center in the NBA and you don't compete and you're not physical and you drop too many Stephen Curry passes, you cooked. They are not bringing you back. The only way he could ever think of coming back to the Warriors is if the negotiations between the Warriors and Porzingis fell completely apart, and they brought him back as a third-string guy because he knows the system. He can make shots, but I would think they're probably not going to resign him.
We're going to slip in one more pick. Frank, do you have it in front of you?
With the 19th pick, the Toronto Raptors draft, I think it's Alan Graves, forward, Santa Clara University.
I remember when Kristen Peak was a guest on the show, the first chat comment was about Alan Graves, and I felt bad because she was like, yeah, he's good. But I mean, why are you bringing him up the Warriors at 11, but still 19? That's high, man. That's the exact same spot that Pajemski went to. 2 19 picks for the University of Santa Clara. Do you like Alan Graves yourself?
I do.
All right.
I mean, he has a specific skill. He can really shoot. And when you look at Toronto, when you look at their forwards, they got tough, bruising type forwards, but they can't shoot. So they need a guy who can kind of spread the court. He's a big body. He's 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". So I think it's a quality pick at number 19. I do.
Beautiful. And I think that means if the Spurs want Falon, he's there with the number 20 pick, and
they're gonna take him.
That's where we'll wrap up, man. Good luck to the Spurs. Good luck to everybody. Congrats to Yaxel Lendeborg. Congrats to the Golden State Warriors. Joe Lacob and Mike Dunleavy Jr. I hope you two make good. Or, Joe, fire your GM. We're not objecting to that. If he's pissing you off, move on. We could use some fresh blood up there anyways. Maybe that's a blessing in disguise. Maybe in hindsight, that's the best part of this entire day. It's not, Yaxel Lendeborg, that's a great pick. But maybe we just saw the moment Joe Lacob had his fill with Mike Dunleavy Jr., and maybe that's a blessing in disguise. Who the hell knows? We'll find out. That's the beauty of basketball. It's a never-ending reality show, and we're here to hopefully update you with some entertainment in the process. Frank, one more time, people can follow you on not all, but on Twitter. I was going to say all social media platforms, but I don't know if that's true. People can follow you on Twitter at Big Frank Red. Your show is called In the Dungeon. In with an E, the with an A. Dungeon is spelled like dungeon. Love you, brother. This was a lot of fun. I can't thank you enough for sharing your expertise. You know your shit. You told the world before anyone else, Quinton Post, those shoulders were just too narrow for the NBA. I absolutely love that. Chef's kiss. Are we done? We good?
We are done, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, brother. We'll have you again soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye. Yaxel.